100 years ago this coming November, the first dirt was turned to start construction on this building where we worship today. Over the next few weeks, we will look at changes in this church. Actually, the church began many years before 1920 at a location southeast of Galva. In the spring of 1876, 11 years after the nation's Civil War, and 19 years after the First Brethren came to Kansas, Joseph Elliott of Peabody began holding monthly meetings in a schoolhouse like this one, 9 miles south of McPherson. George Thomas, also from Peabody, came to McPherson County preaching every fourth week. C.W. Brubaker was one of 12 Brethren worshipers living near Galva. He had lived there since 1870. $15 per member was pledged to have a revival in various schoolhouses like Diamond Schoolhouse. On Wednesday, May 13, 1885, at least 17 Pennsylvania Brethren arrived by train at Galva. Jacob A. Brew, in the Gospel Messenger of August 22, 1885, wrote, quote, "The McPherson Brethren would have a love feast at Brother Joseph Masterson's farm," unquote. 23 Brethren became charter members of the McPherson County Church of the Brethren at that time. Subsequent council meetings were held in the Scrabble Hill and South Diamond schoolhouses. Because McPherson County was large, 36 miles north to south and 30 miles east to west, some brethren found themselves 20 miles distant from worship, and it became difficult to traverse trails and paths during wet and snowy weather. They decided to have separate worship houses at both the west and east ends of the county. We have no picture of the East Church, but this is a picture of the original West Church, today's Monitor. The East Church must have had the same or very similar construction because the record shows they cost nearly the exact amount of money, slightly over $1,100. Notice the two doors. After being wooed by several Kansas communities, McPherson College and Industrial Institute was founded in 1887. Many East Church members decided to move to McPherson to take advantage of educational opportunities for their children. Not wanting to go into further debt for the construction of another building, the first building on McPherson's campus would serve as their new home. However, this dormitory was not ready for occupancy, and two men went in search of a place to worship. They found a building belonging to the Swedish Mission Church. Whether the two doors on the front of the building, one for the brothers to enter and one for the sisters to enter, had any influence for its selection is a matter of speculation. It was rented for $1 per meeting. This church was at the corner of Euclid and Ash Street, the home of the South Dillon store in McPherson years later and home of the Journey Church today. The church congregation would worship at the dormitory and then in a building which became known as Sharp Hall when it was completed for almost 40 years.